Hi Donna.
Hi Greg.
Nikki, welcome.
Hi Nick. Hi everyone.
Donna, thanks for joining us again for another one of our OCOMS training sessions. For this session, I'm joined by Nikki. You know Nikki, one of our Owners Corporation managers, who as previous will assist you to become proficient with all aspects of the OCOMS management software. Importantly, you'll be aware from our previous learning sessions that we'll be recording this session.
I'm aware, thank you. I'm happy with that.
Thank you. Now, the reasons for this particular training session are that any activity carried out for every Owners Corporation must be recorded. The OCOMS Activity module also captures the time spent on every email, phone call, site visit, meetings, or miscellaneous expenses. If the particular activity is within our management contract, we do not charge the Owners Corporation. If, however, it falls outside of our management contract, we then bill the Owners Corporation for our time and any expenses associated with the activity. So all of this will be covered during this session. Just before we start, can you confirm that you've studied the PowerPoint program we went through?
I have, yes.
Thank you. Great. Always keep in mind that it's important to be accurate in any data you input into OCOMS. You remember the old accounting adage, garbage in, garbage out. So we need to be accurate. It's important also to know that our records are never destroyed. In our business, we maintain records forever. It's a bit weird, but unfortunately that's the way it has to be, because people sometimes come back to us years and years and years later because of a legal problem or something, and they want to know about a decision that was made or a resolution made 10 years ago. You already have a copy of the NBCM Ballarat training and WHS policy document. Do you have any questions about that document?
No, that was very clear.
Okay, thank you. Then we're just about ready to start. So you're comfortable?
I am, yes.
Any issues with your screens? No?
Screen's adjusted
Perfect.
correctly.
Okay.
I've got my footstool.
Your new footrest.
My new footrest.
That's important. Then, when you've completed the task, we'll go over your work with you again to check that you fully understand the process. You should refer to the PowerPoint presentation in your own time. If you need to check any of these processes, it's all in that document. Once I've finished this presentation, we ask that you practice your learnings by yourself as many times as you want using the demonstration version of OCOMS. This is perfectly safe. You won't break anything as your demo program is local to your computer. So it doesn't matter if you make a mistake. So let's go through the process to show you how it works. As with previous sessions, we'll use your computer and talk you through the different fields. So today's training session is about creating an activity in our management software. As Owners Corporation managers, a huge part of our job is to manage our Owners Corporation's common property, as well as the multitude of requests our committees and owners make in relation to their investment. As you know, every day, in every way, we get phone calls, emails of issues that need to be resolved. So let's begin. In an Owners Corporation, an activity commences whenever something is required to be done on common property, either by the manager or at the request of an owner or the committee of management. Now, activities can be anything at all, from chasing outstanding fees to setting up a special general meeting to repairing a fence or a blocked drain on the driveway. They can be simple and straightforward, and they can be large and complex, as you've already heard us talk about. Literally anything and everything that needs to be done is set up in our OCOMS management software. Activities, therefore, are a critically important part of our business, not least because it permits us to manage all the work in progress, but also to capture the time spent. Importantly, activities also earn us revenue. So entering an activity in our system enables management to do three things. So number one, it makes an auditable record of that activity over time. Two, it logs the activity's progress up to completion, as well as to set reminders. And three, it attributes time spent as well as contractor or other costs on the activity, which enables us, in turn, to charge this time out to the Owners Corporation as appropriate. You're already aware that activity records are established in 2 separate locations. You already know about Windows File Explorer, and that's where a file is created in the activities folder for that owners corporation. That file stores quotes, relevant emails, any other documents associated with the activity. All of those documents, you know, can be linked to OCOMS Activities as required in this software. Now, because you're so familiar with File Explorer, we won't go over that again. We'll go straight to OCOMS Activities, and we'll now use your computer to show you how to proceed.
Okay.
You ready, Nikki?
Absolutely.
So we start by going to the Workflow Activity List tab. Found that?
Yes.
Okay. This is where the key details of the activity are created.
Okay.
And that's in this field up here eventually, and this field briefly, this field in detail.
Okay.
We'll come to that in a moment. You'll confirm whether this activity is to be carried out as a normal part of the Owners Corporation business and covered under the annual management fee, or you'll confirm, alternatively, that if this is a chargeable item 2.2 fee and must be costed accordingly. The activity also links to any subsequent quote requests and work orders that need to be done to complete the activity. In addition, it sets reminders, and you'll see down here the instant diary, to flag to management about work which needs to be done and tracked. So let's start by creating an activity for Owners Corporation number 714351. So if you enter that OC number in there, and
You can just press enter as well. Much
Thank you.
quicker.
There you go.
Right.
Thank you.
That's all right.
so now you'll see that in that OC field at the top, you've got 714351.
Okay.
So you're now in the correct Owners Corporation. It tells you the address as well on beside that. Now click on the Activity List tab to open a new activity, and click New on the top left. So the activity screen will update, as you can see. Now, what you're going to have to do is follow the next series of actions in sequential order. So now you need to insert the date in that top left field.
Yep.
Now you'll see that it defaults to the current date, but the whole purpose is you can change that if you need to, and that's sometimes necessary if you're a day late or you forget about it and you have to decide you put it in tomorrow, you need to put today's date, you can change the date. Next you'll begin entering data. In the group field, you'll see it starts, the heading is general.
Mm-hmm.
So now you need to select the appropriate category for the activity from the range provided. Is it administration, financial, legal, maintenance, insurance, repairs, complaints, or is it just a general activity? In this one, let's select insurance. Okay?
Yep.
Right. Beside that, in the activity summary field, type a brief description for the activity in all capitals. And so for the sake of this exercise, let's assume that an owner has requested a copy of their insurance PDS. So type in owner of, let's say owner of Unit 1 has requested insurance PDS. Great. Now below that, you'll see that little box there that says S2.2.
Yes.
That's the item 2.2 field that we use if we're going to charge this on.
Would we charge this on?
Well, not necessarily. So let's just explore that. So you only check that field if this is to be a charged activity.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not yet known, because the job may end up being more complex than initially thought, leave the box unchecked. You can check the box at any time. So to answer your question, if, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Nikki, what can happen when somebody requests insurance documentation, you don't know why they're requesting it. So you may send them this document and then they may come back and say, oh, I also need other information because I'm selling my unit or whatever, and my
The
bank or
saying
finance.
needed, yeah.
Yes.
Some kind of financial advisor, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we need
And
that.
so it ends up, instead of being a 2-minute job, it ends up being a 20-minute job, which would then become a chargeable activity.
Okay.
Or
And then we can go back.
Sorry, Nikki?
Or a 3-week job that mine became at one point as the the insurance broker could not work out the proper address to put on. So it
Yes.
can definitely vary. Definitely vary.
Okay.
So now that you've got that, now you need to go to the activity record and you need to add activity record. And this is where you put in a more detailed description. So that you could put in here, the owner has advised that they simply want to
Does this have to be in capitals?
no, keep going, no, that's fine. Can be in capitals. That they simply want to investigate the insurance detail, for instance. So it's very straightforward. You may need, in this instance, if it was far more complex, a broken, fence or something, you might need to add information about potential contractors that may need a quote to be done or a work order or something. That's where all of that detail goes in over time. So you might have to go back and do it tomorrow, for instance, to add more information, or the next day or next week. So activities, as you've seen in this business, and as Nikki's just pointed out, can last for weeks, months. Sometimes they can seem as though they're never going to end. And every time there is an addition to the activity, you must click Edit in the control at the top, which opens it up again and allows you to add another activity record. Next, you need to go to the attachments field on the right, on the far right. If there are attachments to add, that's where you would add them. If there's no attachments here at the moment, because you'll be just sending the thing direct by email, you just leave that empty for the time being. Next, you must also make a note of the time in minutes, and you'll see the time field there, spent on each entry. We work in standard blocks of 2 minutes or 6 minutes. So this looks like it's going to be a 2-minute one, put in 2.
Yep.
If, however, it was reading and answering an email with more content, that would be presumably multiples of 6 minutes. If it involves property inspections, visits, phone discussions, liaisons with owners or specialists, council, for instance, local council, they would be costed on an hourly basis. So in this time, this is only 2 minutes, that's fine, you've put that in. In every case, you must ensure that the time charged field, just below that to the right, is checked as well.
Okay.
So when you click Save now at the top, OCOMS will automatically issue that a discrete number. It's the next number in the activity number field, and that will lock the activity into the system. So, quick reminder, I mentioned the diary. If you need to set a reminder for a future date, you can use the instant diary, and that'll flag your activity at that date in the future that you've inserted. And on completion of an activity, you must ensure the completed box, which is at the far top right here, that is checked.
Okay.
And once you do that, OCOMS will request that you confirm that you wish to complete the task. You may not wish to complete the task yet if you think that you've got things to do, so you can always uncheck it in the future if you need to. So that's it, apart from mentioning that now that the task is completed, the decision must be made as to whether to charge that. If it is to be charged, then you'd proceed to the next standard operating procedure, which is called charging an item 2.2 fee, but we'll deal with that at a future training session.
Okay.
So now it's time for you to set up an activity by yourself and see how you go. So exit, so cancel that. Okay, now Nikki, you right?
Yep.
Okay, so Donna, what you do is we started off with the Owners Corporation number, which you have put in there.
I have.
Okay, right. Now you need to just go from the way we said. Okay.
Okay, so do the date, and I've got the Right date.
So always remember, before you need to start, you need to press the new button, otherwise it will not type anything, and you'll go back, you'll have written a paragraph and there won't be anything there.
Good point. New.
Perfect.
Thank you. Okay, and then the date, today's date, then the activity summary. Oh, group.
Always try and do group first, yeah.
Group.
Just so you
Okay.
know.
And then
exactly
is
what.
insurance. And now the activity summary.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And now add activity record.
Mhm.
Okay, we're looking at the details. Time, 2 minutes. Time charged. And save.
Mhm.
And save now. Okay, let me just double check. Oh, I didn't need to add any attachments because it wasn't necessary.
Good. Okay.
And I can put it in the diary, but I should be finished
Yeah.
anyway just after I send the email.
Okay.
Perfect.
Good. Okay. So that was pretty good. She's a bit hesitant.
Hesitant, yeah, you're hesitant. But you get that with time.
On a
It's,
couple of
it
things.
is like, OCOMS is pretty scary because there's a lot of information in
Yeah.
there.
Just remember that
Please read.
sequence.
Yes.
You know, so it's the number, the
Date.
date, the group, then the once you know it's insurance, then you can type in what it is in there.
Okay, yeah.
And then you go down. Is it 2.2? Well, no, it's
We
not in
can
this
leave
case.
it, yes.
Uh,
But we
then
can
you-
add it later.
Then you need to add an activity record, add all the detail in there, whatever it is, and then put in the time spent so far. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you did that and the owner received the email and then they phoned back and said, "Oh, I also need some other insurance document or something else," then you would open this same one because it's the same day,
Mm-hmm.
and you would just add owner requested by phone that we add blah blah blah, whatever it is, and then you'd have to change the amount of the time. Okay, you
Okay,
go from
yeah.
2 minutes to 6 minutes or 12 minutes or whatever. Okay, but you're pretty good, but you just focus on that, and I think you'll get there. So what did you think of the training content?
You spoke clearly and calmly, that was good.
But that's me, but the actual the content to the instruction to follow this, was that clear?
That was clear, yes.
Okay. And you're happy with my golden tonsils?
I was. Very calming voice.
Okay, thank you. Right, so I think, Nikki, we're pretty happy. I think
Yeah, I think so.
Donna will pick this up
It's
quickly.
going to take a bit of time, but you get quicker, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we watched you pretty carefully as you followed that sequence, and yeah, you were a bit hesitant, but you were thinking it through, which is the right way to go.
Exactly.
What do I do next? So maybe if you just go back and open that, just click new again, and open that group field, and just familiarise yourself with all those different groups. And you know, there's a bunch of them there. A lot of the time, when you're not even sure what it is, put it in as general.
Okay.
And
yeah.
you can always
That
change
one.
that
Yeah.
at a later date. But typically, it defaults to general, so you know you have to really work it out. And the reason for that is, if we then need to do an audit, we can do an audit of this system and see how many insurance activities we've had, how many financial requests we've had, you know, all of that sort of thing. So The software is pretty smart in that respect. It can track, it can audit all of these things. So yeah, but you'll be prepared. You'll gradually get to understand those, and when you get a request, you'll instantly know, even when you're talking to the person, you'll instantly know which category it's going to go into over time. So you just need to be prepared to understand that whenever somebody phones or sends an email, you're thinking, I know which category that's going to be for the activities.
Okay.
So Nikki, any other comments?
No, I think you're doing a great job.
Happy? Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, look, I have to say we're pretty happy with your progress on OCOMS. It's a big beast of a program, as you've seen, and this is only one very, very small component. You can see down the side there all of the different activity or categories within this software. It includes the financial component at the end of it, to do financial stuff.
You always learn something new on this system.
Always, every day and every
Always.
way
Yep.
you learn something new.
It has its little quirks, doesn't it, Greg?
It certainly
OCOMS?
does. It certainly does. But this session went pretty smoothly, and you're quickly getting the hang of it. So I'm happy with that.
I've definitely learned something, so.
Yeah, that's good. Any final thoughts, comments?
No, pretty good.
Happy, Nikki? So look, we'd appreciate it if you could fill out the feedback form that I gave you
I will.
earlier. And any comments are always welcome. Anything that can improve our training is really valuable input. So we appreciate that. And we look forward to working with you on the next module, which will, at this stage, probably be how to do chargeable 2.2s.
Oh, very good. Back
And
to that
how to
button.
make more money for the company.
Yeah, we want that.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Greg and Nikki.
Thank you.